All right, good morning, students. As you can see, I'm not there today, but I can record this quick tutorial for you. First, I'm going to share my screen. Let's go to this one, AutoCAD. All right. So in order to draw drawing 13, you're going to have to understand how to do a couple things. Actually, drawing 13 isn't that complicated, but there's a few things that you're gonna need to know how to do. I have drawing 13 here. So drawing 13, I don't believe, no, there's a couple circles, but there's no like tangent points or anything. But you need to know center mark and center line. So for drawing 13, you're gonna need to know some of these commands. So here is drawing 13. For dimensioning, there's a center mark and there's a center line. This is specifically for circles and holes. So if we go to, do I have any layouts for drawing 13? Sure. Let's take a look. 13A, 13B, 13, I guess it must be C. C, or not any of the ones that I want to show you. Okay, whatever. We'll just double click this one. And we'll zoom out and we'll go to one that I actually want to dimension, which is like one of these. Okay, so we'll use this one as an example here. And I don't know, what kind of scale do we want here? 1:1. That fits pretty well. Okay, and then I'll double click. So this is what I have. I have these leftover dimensions from my last assignment. We'll delete that. I'm not like totally in love with the spacing here. So let's move this over a bit. Maybe like this. I should be room enough from there. Okay, so in a drawing that has holes or circles, you're always going to want to, or holes specifically, I guess, you're always going to want to do some dimensioning specific to those before you put your overall dimensions. So we can go into our layer called center before we go into our dim layer. And under the annotate toolbar, there's actually like a little section for center marks and center lines. So center mark is a little cross shape mark that goes in the center of a circle or arc. So I click that and I essentially just click the circle and it puts a center mark in for me. You want to make sure that you're doing this in Paperspace. So if you look in Model Space, you'll see that there is no arc there, or sorry, there's no center mark there on the circle. If you do your center marks and center lines in Model Space, they're going to appear kind of funny in your assignment. They're going to be like way too small or way too big. So you want to make sure you're doing this in Paperspace or in your layout. And then a center line is showing you, so we have two hidden lines here. What does that mean? So the hidden line is indicating that there's a hole there. This circle is in fact a hole that goes from here to here. So what we want to do to indicate that that's a hole and not just like two edges or something is you use center line and you click either side of the hole and then it'll automatically put a center line in the middle. Same as here. This is also a hole. So we click either side of the center of the hole and then it automatically populates a center line in the middle. So center marks and center lines, that would apply also for like this one here. You'd want to have a center mark here, and you'd want to have a center line here. And then going into drawing 14, there's a hole here, there's a hole here, there's a couple holes here, there's a couple holes here. Like they're going to all need center marks and center lines. So that kind of leads into the next part, which is like when you're drawing things that require center marks and center lines, you're probably going to need to know how to use the tangent function. So I'll go back into my object layer and I'll show you just like an example of how to draw something like this. Like how do you actually snap the line to the outside? It would be something like this. So first you would draw like the circle. I'm not in the right layer. Let's go to my object. There we go. So first you would draw your first circle, like whatever the radius was given on the assignment. And then you would have you probably have some kind of line from that out. to indicate where the second circle is, and then put in the diameter of that circle. Now, if you want to connect the circles, it's called a tangent point. So it's like the outermost edge of the circle. There's a special object snap command that you can turn on. So if you go to your object snap, it's called tangent. Now, the trouble is tangent won't work if you have center turned on. So you're going to have to deselect center and tangent on. And then when you come here to draw a line, this like circle with 3 dots shows up, and this is going to snap the line to the tangent of the circle. So see how it kind of like reorients itself as I move around? So that snap there, and then I can go here and click, and it'll just snap to the tangent, escape, and I can do the same thing over here and click and click. The other thing you can do, so if you don't want to select tangent here and you don't want to change your object snap settings, the other thing you can do is go into your line command and simply just type in TAN for tangent and hit enter, and it'll override and only show you that one object snap command. And click, and then when you go over here, same thing, it's not showing up. So we'll go TAN, enter, and then it overrides and just shows that one tangent. Because if tangent isn't something that you're going to use often, you may not actually want to change your object snap to tangent, because then you have to turn off center. And then go back and like turn it all back on. So that's how you would draw like this kind of shape. The other command is fillet. So it's like how we get these little round. What some people try to do is they'll do like, I don't know, they'll do like a circle, and then they'll draw lines off of the circle, and then they'll do like a bunch of trimming. Way too much work. You don't want to do that. So to do, it's called a fillet. You'll draw the edge just as if it was your like 90-degree edge, something like this. And then you're going to add the rounded corner after. So this one is, I can't recall. I think it's like point. I don't remember what this is. Let's look. Radius. So this one's 0.25. Okay. So to do a fillet, it's in your home tab. In your modify toolbar, it's right here called fillet. It's like under the trim. So you'll select that. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put in your fillet radius. So you can click radius, and I actually already have it defaulted to 0.25, but I'll type it in either way, 0.25, enter. After you put in your radius, you can simply just click any lines that you want to fillet, and it's automatically going to round them over for you. I can hit enter. Now it'll go back into fillet. It'll go back to radius 0.25. If you want to change the radius at any time, you click radius or you type R, and you can type in, so if you wanted like a 0.5 or something radius, then you could click your 2 edges and then it'll do the radius for you. Now, the tricky thing is you can't like change a fillet after you've made it. So you want to make sure that you put in the correct radius. You can't like double click the fillet and then change it to a different fillet. You're kind of stuck with it once you've done it. So that's talking about tangent points, talking about fillets. What else did I tell you I was going to talk about? I said center mark, center lines, tangent, fillet. Oh, array. So you don't need array for 13 and 14, but for drawing 11, you're going to need array. Array is something like this. So it's where you have like a shape and you want to duplicate that shape in like a circular or rectangular pattern. So I'll give you kind of an example. I'll draw a circle, and then on the circle, I will draw another little circle, like maybe here. So say I had this and I wanted to have like, I don't know, 8 of these circles around here. I can use a command called array. It's also in the modify toolbar. In fact, it's right under fillet. Here, it's called array. Now, you'll want to go into the drop down. There's rectangular array, path array, and polar array. We want to use a polar array. It's if you want to do array an object or like copy and paste an object around a circle, you use polar array. So for polar array, first it asks you to select the object that you want to array. That's this circle. And then it's going to open up, or sorry, I hit enter. And then it's going to open up like a dialog box. Oh, I'm in 2021. It might look a little bit different. Anyway, then it says specify center point of array. The center point is going to be not the center point of the circle that you want to array, but the center point of the circle that you want to array around. So I'll go here, click, And then it's going to ask me questions. Now the dialog box opens. So it's going to ask me like how many. So it says 6 items. I'm going to change it to like 8 items, for example. And then I want it between 360 degrees. You can actually change it to like just fill over 180 degrees, and you can change the angles between them. Anyway, this is a command that you're going to need for drawing 11. And so I've just selected like 8 items, but you select however many you need, you array them, close array. Now they're going to be grouped though. So if you need to edit your array, you either going to have to undo it or you're going to have to explode it and edit it. But right now it's grouped as one item. And if you want to edit your array, you can either undo or you can select it, explode, and then rearray your original circle. Yes, you just have to make sure that one of the circles is located where it needs to be, and then you can array the remainder. You can also do like a rectangular array. You don't really need to know how to do that right now, though. I think those were the only commands. And then I just wanted to refresh how to save all your layouts together. Excuse me. So you go here to export PDF, and then when you do that, you'll select here, instead of exporting display, or sorry, where am I at? I'm gonna do layout, page setup, current, override, display. Here, sorry, let's go into one of our actual layouts. Here, okay, so file, export, PDF. Okay, here we go. So when it asks you to export, it'll ask you if you want to export your current layout, or you can do all layouts. So you just want to make sure in your file that you only have the layouts that you want to export down here. So if it was drawing 13, you just have your drawing 13 tabs. If it's drawing 14, you just have drawing 14 or drawing 1 to 6, because it's going to export like all of the layouts. And like as you can see, I have like a ton of layouts in this assignment. So you want to make sure you just have the layouts necessary for the assignment, and then go export PDF, and then make sure that you do, instead of current layout, you go all layouts, and then whatever, pick whatever you want to save it, and then save. Do I want to replace it? Cancel. I'll just call it okay. And then I can launch that one. Oh, I have to go find it. Okay, so let's go find that. OneDrive, Fraser Heights, courses, drafting, and then examples and demos. I did drawing 1 to 6 example. So it's saved as a PDF, and mine's going to have a ton of sheets. Like mine's going to have a whole bunch of sheets all together. So you want to make sure that you only have the layouts showing that you want saved into the PDF. And then as far as that, it should be fairly straightforward. So I think I covered everything that I said I was going to cover. So I talked about center lines, center marks, tangent, fillet, and array, as well as saving as a PDF, like multiple sheets to a PDF. I think that's it. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back in a couple days.